We just weren't very good up front last year. Just too young and too immature.
But you made the personnel moves before Baylor really showed up in the building with Bolton.
Right.
Combining all that with Atkins, you have to be 180 degrees in a better place than you were in November, right?
Yeah, he's terrific. He's as good as I've been around up to this point. I obviously haven't been with him on game day, so I don't know. But up to this point, the technique and he's really good. And bringing those guys in and getting a little bit of experience.
Does this feel a little lucky that it fell together the way it did with them?
Yeah,
that a guy like that is available.
Right.
You know,
We got lucky that all that take place in Buffalo, and he had interest in getting back into the college game.
I think you see the type of coach. See the type of coach.
No, take your time.
Or if he's still on your staff a year from today, you're going to be a little surprised.
No, because I think he likes college football. I think he likes Stillwater. Hopefully he's happy. I think at some point somebody will probably try to come buy him away, but I would expect him to be with us for a while.
You got a lot of recent alums in the NFL doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Has that helped you in recruiting in many ways?
Sure, I think that the players now live in a world with internet and all the different things. They get information, they know what's going on, they see players that are out there and they've been at Oklahoma State, and those are things that interest them when they're choosing a school.
So you use that a little bit?
Mm-hmm, sure.
I also wanted to ask, Coach Snyder is kind of an unusual guy who's going in the Hall of Fame as an active coach this year. You haven't gone up against him a few times now. What do you think it is about him that's made him a Hall of Famer?
I think he had a system when he came in the league in 90 or 89, whenever it was. And in my opinion, that he's doing the same thing on offense and then special teams and defense, and essentially what he did when he started. I think that's why he's had success. Along with all the other stuff that he does, I don't know about, but the consistency of what he does, in my opinion, is why he's had success.
Is there anything about playing Kansas State that's a bit different than playing your average opponent?
Well, it looks like to me they put a lot of time in special teams, and you have to be really prepared in those areas.
Thanks, guys.
Sure.
This might be a story that I haven't read, but you mentioned up there your family's from Michigan.
My mom is from Flint, Michigan. Her dad has, I believe it's 13 brothers and sisters are General Motors people. So I don't know how many cousins I have up there, but I'm going to guess a lot.
Do you know how she ended up in Oklahoma?
They took off and came south, and I think they were on their way to California and ran out of money, and they got stuck in Oklahoma. Been there ever since.
You mentioned in the spring linebackers being 3 deep and about having as much depth at linebacker that you've had. How much does that help somebody like Seth Jacobs or Ryan Simmons, who had a good year last year, but are they going to be fresh?
No doubt they played too much. Seth, we worried about Seth and Ryan every game. They had played too many plays, and if things go as anticipated, they shouldn't have those issues this season.
And Seth's guy, a year ago he hadn't really proven much in his first year as a starter.
Just come on just like that. Made some plays against Florida State and just got better as the season went on.
Do you remember how you all discovered him? Because,
Robin Ventura.
Really?
He's from Robin Ventura's hometown. He got in touch with us. Robin's a great OSU guy, and got in touch with us and said, hey, you need to check this kid out and this and that. He's been over to his house. He's got daughters the same age, I think. And so he knew him in the community there. And that's how we started it, and that's how we ended up getting him.
So was it a surprise when you found out he had a bunch of family in Oklahoma too?
We knew that, and that was part of the reason that they contacted us, because he had some ties in our part of the country.
Hey, Mike, tell me about your first coaching job.
At Oklahoma State?
No, just period.
That's my first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I started at Oklahoma State in 1990.
Mm-hmm. And getting into the business like that.
Well, I got lucky
first
because
year, what do you remember about it?
when I finished playing, Larry Coker was the offense coordinator. Houston Nutt was the wide receiver coach. And Coker went to OU and Nutt went to, I think, Arkansas. And so they had 2 openings, like 2 weeks before signing day. And so Pat Jones hired me, and I got lucky.
Have you been looking for work like that for a while, or?
No, I was playing. I had just finished my college career.
Did you think that was going to be? I mean, did you think that was going to be the path from there on out?
Yeah, I knew I didn't want to get a real job. I knew I wanted to be involved with football, and so that was the best way for me to go.
Do you remember much about the first year?
Well, we weren't very good. We were on probation, and we were very average at best. And I remember there was a big transition in being a player and a coach. Thought I knew quite a bit about the game as a player, and found out I didn't know very much.
Yeah. What about recruiting?
I enjoyed that. I was single, and so I could just jump in a car, plane, and go. Didn't worry about it. And I was young enough to relate to the players, so that wasn't as big a transition for me.
Appreciate it.
Sure.
Did you play in the '87 Sun Bowl against West Virginia?
In the snow.
Or Snow Bowl, is what it should have been called.
Yeah, Major Harris was playing quarterback on the other team.
Was your trip to Morgantown 2 years ago? Was that the first time you had coached?
No, I coached at Maryland. We played there a couple times.
What do you think of when you think about playing in Morgantown, or the atmosphere around?
Well, they've got a good atmosphere. They've got seem to have exciting tailgating, and obviously it's big there, and their stadium's a little unique, and for us, the teams in this league, going across the country, it's a little different. Most of our flights are 40, 50 minutes. It's 210 or whatever it is across there. We had to fly in Pittsburgh, but now we don't. We fly in somewhere else now. But it's different just because of coming from this part of the world.
I know some of your players will say they enjoyed playing there, not the result, obviously.
Right.
But playing in atmospheres like that can get your players.
I think they do. The kids nowadays, they're just unusual in things, and they like to play in environments that they see on TV, and they think it's neat.
You mentioned your thoughts about the full cost of attendance. Are you guys going to handle that there? Do you think this is a good thing for what college football has become?
I think it's a good thing, and we're maximizing whatever dollar value that they allow us to give to our players.
Is that something that you think will eventually be, has it already become something that gets mentioned in recruiting, for instance? Each school trying to maximize what they can do.
It hasn't been mentioned as much as I thought it would be. And I think that's because the dollar value is really close. So these guys get everything paid for. They get their food. There's a money value for their food. Then they get a cost of living. Let's just say $4,000, give or take, based on the government. And they have other stipends that they can get. So I think that the student athletes, the prospects, their parents, they know it's a heck of a deal, and it's not really brought up very much.
When you were recruited and playing, were there days you didn't have food? Is this too much been made of going hungry and stuff?
I think it is. We didn't have near what these guys have nowadays, but we never went hungry. You might not like what they were serving, but we didn't go hungry. And I know that I've coached 6 years at Oklahoma State, 1 year at Baylor, 4 or 5 years at Maryland, 16 back at Oklahoma State. I've never seen any student athletes go hungry. So now, do I think this is a good thing? Sure, because I think there's money there, and I think that it can be allocated for the student athletes in the right way. But I also think that they get a lot also, which is good.
Do you consider, I've talked to a lot of coaches and ADs and stuff, they don't like to say paying the players.
Sure.
Is it paying the players?
No, not really, because of what they have to put in. There's a great time demand, physically and mentally, on their bodies. So I would say no, but I do think the direction we're going, that's been established, I think is positive for college football.
Coach, you talked about when you were a young coach and relating to the players. Do you relate to them differently today as a head coach?
Yeah, just from being 47 years old instead of 23, and I'm more patient. It's almost like parenting. You wish you could go back and do it again because you think you'd be better next time. And I think it's the same way in being a head coach.
Is it different for you being a head coach at your alma mater, more special?
Well, it is, and there's times it is more difficult because not as many anymore, but when I first started, there was a number of people that were in different areas on campus that were there when I was a player. So they always see you as a player. And being an assistant coach is one thing, but being a head coach is another. So there's some advantages, but there's a few disadvantages.
What would some of those disadvantages be?
Well, people that are in charge making decisions, when you're bringing something to their attention, they just don't see you as an authority, as a head coach. They see you as a student, skipping study hall,